Hello everyone, Kevin from K-Tech Services, back again for another educational digitizing video. Today's video, we're working with Wilcom, two-color script with the assistance of Adobe Illustrator, okay, for your Illustrator people out there. Okay, I've had the question about, if I type something out on Illustrator, can I bring that over into Wilcom and digitize it? I said, of course. This video is going to be with for Wilcom Machinery today. I am working with the Wilcom Embroidery Studio Digital Edition. This will be part one, by the way. There will be a part two about editing the file after we get it, the artwork, get it over to Wilcom, digitize it, and then that's part one, and then part two will be on editing the file and tweaking it, getting it ready for a stitch out. Okay. So again, as I mentioned, Wilcom Embroidery Studio Digital Edition. I do have my profile set to Melco since we're working with Melco machinery today. Now, which I always start out with on all my videos is make sure you set the profile of the window for the machine that you are working with. Okay, it's very important because Wilcom has profiles. So if you go under design and go to under select machine format, it'll list up this little box and it basically will show you all the different formats of every machine that's listed here. When you save out the embroidery stitch file, when you're done with digitizing it and you export it, and then you save it to a file, it needs information for that specific machine type, and Wilcom has that information in here. Okay, because every machine actually works a little bit differently. Okay, so I can't stress that enough to make sure that you have it select for the proper machine that you're working with. And today we're actually working with Melco, but if you're working with something else, you can actually change that pretty easily. Okay. All right, so obviously I just had this already digitized in an example, but we'll do everything brand new from start to finish here. Without ado, let's go ahead and jump into Adobe Illustrator. Obviously we're doing a two color, but Wilcom does things a little bit differently than some of the other digitizing softwares that I do videos for, and I'm just going to show you that they actually have a tool. The best way that I found for this to do right or do it the quickest way is using the tool that Wilcom has, and I'll show you. So we're just going to basically do the inside fill color, and then we'll put the outline stitch once we get it into Wilcom. Okay, so I'm just going to do a file and a new to start from fresh. I am going to use a tabloid. Now this is more for a jacket back size because we're going to do it 12 inches across. So I'm going to use a tabloid 11 by 17. I do set my to inches instead of points. I think it starts off with points or pixels. I don't know. And then we want it at inches. Will set it to landscape. Everything else is fine. You don't need to go any further than that. Go ahead. So you have a good working area of 11 by 17. Okay. I am going to click on my lettering tool and start typing my text. K-Tech. Okay. I am going to make this 12 inches. I'm going to go over to my property and make that 12 inches across. Okay, and I'm just going to drag that down here. Now for the font, my customer was using a two-color or a script, sorry. And I am going to type in the name of it very soon. And of course, I've already had this. I know it says no results, but it's actually right here. That's the one she was using. Okay. Now, of course, if you like that spacing, we're good to go. I change the fill. I'm always a blue person, K-Tech blue. So we're not usually in this case I would put a border around it, but we're not going to do that. We're just going to leave it the way it is. Okay, because then we'll do the rest of it once we're in Wilcom. Okay, we're good at there now. If you want to space this a little bit more, there's a couple. I mean, obviously you might know better than I do, but I'll come down to the auto here of here, oops, and go to optical, and that'll kind of squeeze it in a little bit more. Again, if you like it space apart, you're good. You don't need to go any further. But if you want to like tighten that up a little bit so they connect, okay, so in Illustrator you do that, you hold down the Alt key, and then you can kind of turn it left arrow and right arrow on my keyboard, and I can kind of do that. Okay, just for example. So okay, cool. All right. So now we're done. We're done. I mean, if this is this what you want? Okay, we're done. Okay. So we do have to do one thing to it. Um, and right click on it. We need you can go there, or I think you can come up to, I think it's is it object or same thing or no expanded or type. We need. I think it's in here. Well, maybe I'm not sure exactly where it's at, but I know it's I know it's here. It's create outlines. Shift Control O. Will kind of change the letters a little bit. Now, this will actually work fine. Sometimes what I'll do is I'll ungroup it. You can actually do that the same thing if you highlight it and go there. I think ungroups right here. And what that does, it just puts it as individual letters. But it kind of converts over just fine that I've kind of tested with. But I just wanted to show you that you can kind of do that. I can select all or I do imaginary box. Now there's two ways to get it over to Wilcom. I'm going to show you both ways here. Now I'm going to do the copy and paste. Now here's the thing. Okay, so if your Illustrator and your Wilcom is on the same computer, you can do copy and paste, which is easy. But if you don't have them on the same computer, let's say you have your Wilcom on another computer and you have your Illustrator on another computer, then you'll have to do a file. Okay. I will do a copy and paste real simple just to kind of show you. Obviously, copy. You can Control C for that, and then I'm going to bounce over to Wilcom and do a file. Come on, file new, and then just you can go over here to the edit and go paste, and the artwork comes right in. Okay, and there's the vector code and stuff like that. That's what we need. Okay, but I am going to show you the file way. I'm going to flip back over to Adobe. Now this, I know this is kind of weird, but it works. Okay, it works. Okay, there's a, obviously Wilcom works with Corel, so they don't like Adobe. But so you have to kind of do a couple little tricks here and stuff like that. So to bring this in the way I tested and tested and tested this. So this is the way that I found that it works. Okay, so now what we're going to do is we're going to save this. Just do a save as, okay, and save to your computer. And I already have it here. And I was saving my file already, but okay, now this is the thing I wanted to kind of point out to you guys. I'm going to save it. It's okay. It's going to tell me yes because I've always had. Now, do not save it for 2020. I mean, obviously, save it for that for yourself. Name it something different. But for the file that you're going to bring over into Wilcom, so we can get the artwork and to digitize it, click that down, and then go find Adobe version 8. Okay, don't ask why. It for the last several decades, this has worked for me. Okay, it works, and so just version 8, save it because you're going to get that warning message saying, oh, some stuff can be just yeah, it's worked for me. Yes, once in a great while it doesn't work, but it depending on how the artwork is. But this is very simple artwork. Okay. So we did that. Now I'm going to bounce over to Wilcom. And now this is the strange part. Okay, what you have to do, what I need to do is I need to do a file on a new. I've got to do that part. Now go into Corel, okay, and it will load up the I have 2025 Corel, but then I use separately. But then of course with this version I get a copy of 2024 Corel. Okay, so it's just the work area here in Corel of kind of what they do. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to go to File, Import. And then I am going to, let's see, desktop and then and then I'm going to import this file that we just saved, version 8. And then voila, just kind of do that. It doesn't matter where it's at. Now it brings the vector in there. I know this is a drag, but this is just the way that you have to do it. And then well, actually you're done. I mean, it brought it in there. All you have to do is hit workspace and then it actually copies it over into Wilcom. And let's see, what are we at here size wise? Of course, it's about 8. I usually will, if you want to make it 10 inches, you can do that, or make it 12, whatever you want. That's where I kind of would size it if I need to. Okay, let's make it 10 inches. Okay, and of course, you could bring the hoop up here. Let's see. Let's do, I don't know, I'll just do Melco that one there. There we go. And then this could tell me about roughly the size of it. I'm going to be more, I'm going to be researching the more of the hoops. A lot of the mighty hoops are not in there. Actually, if they're not in there, I'll get them created for Melco users. Okay, but that's down the future. Okay. All right, so let's see here. So we're going to do that. Okay, so we have the artwork in there ready to digitize. It's fairly simple. Here you can click on all, I know if you click on all icons, all the elements will be highlighted. Then if you want to do the instant smart design tool, hit that and that will auto digitize it. The fill, which is awesome. Okay. And then what we need to do to basically do the two color here, right off the bat, is go to what's called outlines. And then I usually have mine set to the third one, on the overlap method. Good color is good. I'm okay with the width. That's a good size. I do have it usually set to the left click on the overlapping method, I guess they call it. And then I just go ahead and click OK. And then it's going to build the outline stitch around. Voila, boom. Okay, it's the best way that I found it to work properly, so it does the line direction properly that I found. Okay. Other softwares do it a little bit differently, but that's other softwares. Okay. Um, so there we go. It's digitized and everything, which is what we wanted. We just needed to get the artwork prepared, and then so we can digitize it. Okay. Um, this is it of this video here. I'm going to end it here. This is for part one, and then obviously part two will be how to edit this and get the densities right, get the column width wide, etc. before you sew out the first sew out. Okay, so I thank you for stopping by. I appreciate it. Please give me a thumbs up and a like, and so I can do more of these videos, and we'll see you on the next one. Thank you for stopping by.